Hello, this is Brian with VitalityPlus1.com, and we are here today to demonstrate the Greenstar 5000. And we're also going to show you here some of the parts that actually come with this juice extractor. We're going to juice with it today, and we're also going to disassemble it for you and also reassemble it. And I'm also going to show you the inside of the twin gears, which are pretty fascinating. Okay, we are going to show you what I juice here twice a week, which is going to be organic carrot, spinach, and celery. Now with the carrots, I always use a plastic plunger. Now as you can see, the carrots that we're using here today go through the twin gears relatively easy without really having to use an extreme amount of force to get them through there. Next, we're doing some celery, and sometimes the Greenstar will actually pull the stalk in through the machine itself, but there's very little effort that you really have to use when you're doing the celery. Next, we're doing some spinach, and when we do green leafy, I always really like to use the wooden plunger. Now, the wooden plunger will allow you to contact the gears where the plastic one won't allow you to touch those. Now keep in mind that you always want to use a machine like this one when you're doing greens, because from our tests we have found that you are actually throwing away 1/3 of the produce every time you're doing green leafy in any of the high-speed juicers. Now another thing, it's always best to alternate back and forth with the produce here rather than juicing all the carrots at once. Overall, it should not take you any more than 15 minutes to juice 3 pounds of carrots, 10 ounces of spinach, and about a pound of celery, which we have here today. Okay, we're going to show you how to disassemble it. First of all, you grab a hold of the hood and you just pull it straight up and it comes right off. Then you're going to remove the adjusting knob out on the end. You just unscrew it counterclockwise. Then you're going to grab a hold of the latches on both sides and release those, and that will allow the outlet casting to come off. Next, you just remove the fine screen and pull it out, and then the twin gears come right out, and then the twin gear housing just really pops off. And that's all there is to it. It comes apart in less than a minute. Some of the parts here that I'm showing you, they come off of the machine. The black-handled brush is a stainless steel brush and is an option. It does not come with this particular machine. Okay, to reassemble the machine, there's a couple very important things you have to remember, and they both involve the twin gears. The gears have dots on the back of them, and they have to be lined up each time they're put in the machine. And it's also important that the gears are seated properly, and in order to do that, you put the gears in, take your fingertips out on the end, and give them a little twist each way, and push in on them, and then that way you know that the gears are seated properly. If the gears are not seated properly, it can round off that drive gear that comes out of the machine that runs those twin gears. But those are a couple important things to remember, but the machine does go together relatively easy. It should take you less than a minute to put the machine back together. These are the Greenstar Juice Extractor's twin gears. Now I'm using ones that have been cut away so you can see the inside of them. They're pretty unique in a number of ways. They have pocketed recessed areas on the blade to help shred and juice tougher things like carrot and herbs, and they help keep the machine from jamming too. Now if you look at the gear on the right, it has plastic teeth that is about 1 inch wide. Those plastic teeth create a buffer to keep the gears from touching one another. If they did not have that buffer, you could actually shave metal off into your juice. Now years ago, I had a customer that called me, and he had a twin gear juice extractor that was made by a different company that does not use that protective buffer on their gears. And in fact, it was a type of juicer that comes with a magnet in the bottom of a juice collection cup. And he told me that he found metal shavings in the bottom of that cup on that magnet. Now Greenstar is the only company that uses that buffer on their gears, so always keep that in mind when you're looking at twin gear machines. They put it on there for your safety. You mainly get the shavings when the twin gears are running dry without anything in the machine, like when you first start it. Inside the core of the gears, you're going to find inline magnets and bioceramic material. The inline magnets produce a magnetic field through which the juice flows during the juicing process. As it flows through the focused field, large clusters of water molecules in the juice are broken up into smaller clusters, and these smaller clusters are able to latch onto more minerals like calcium, potassium, sodium, and magnesium than the larger clusters can, meaning you are going to get more nutrition from each drop of juice in a suspended colloidal form that the body can use for a longer length of time. Green Star places a specifically formulated bioceramic material around the inline magnets at the core of each twin gear. The bioceramic compound uses the mechanical energy from the turning of the twin gears to generate far infrared waves that penetrate the water within the juice. You and the juice benefit from the far infrared energy as it helps to radiate and stabilize the fragile juice structure. By the way, our bodies radiate far infrared waves, and those waves are the safest and most beneficial energy sources available. Now, I consider the twin gears to be the main focal point of this juicer. They are the main component which produces that very valuable juice that can give our bodies radiant health. Now, this concludes the video, and I just want to say that after selling and using these machines for 17 years, I think they are still the best juicer on the market today for the money. And in my opinion, they're invaluable for what they do for the human body, but a lot of people don't realize the machine can pay huge dividends down the road. Now, thanks for watching, and get yourself a Green Star. Most people are never, ever disappointed they bought one.